Strategic metal determines Serbia's position in Europe. Massive protests have erupted across Serbia for a highly unusual reason: an agreement to mine lithium in Serbia, with extraction rights granted to European Union companies. Why has the Serbian leadership shared such a strategically valuable resource with Russia's geopolitical opponents? Protests in Serbia have centered around the extraction of jadarite, a mineral essential for producing electric vehicles. The country's leadership views these events as politically motivated, accusing pro-Western NGOs of organizing the demonstrations. Deputy Prime Minister Aleksandar Vulin succinctly stated that the environmental concerns fueling the protests are merely a pretext, with the true goals being political. However, this raises an intriguing question: why has Serbia found itself at the center of these lithium tensions, and what led to them? This is not a trivial question. Serbia indeed has significant deposits of jadarite, accounting for approximately 10% of the world's reserves. However, other large deposits of this mineral also exist in Austria, the Czech Republic, and Portugal. This leads to the suspicion that the EU leadership is simply avoiding raising environmentally sensitive issues within its own borders, opting instead to shift dirty production to a non-EU country. Moreover, underlying this is economic rivalry between Germany and China. China is the global leader in electric vehicle production, manufacturing around 8 million such vehicles in 2023. This greatly concerns Berlin, which aims to produce 15 million electric vehicles annually by 2030. However, Germany is unwilling to rely on lithium supplies from China. This explains the urgency with which Chancellor Scholz traveled to Belgrade to finalize the agreement with Serbia. Scholz's visit, which took place in mid-July, is quite noteworthy. Accompanying him were executives from Mercedes, Stellantis, the mining company Rio Tinto, 3 battery manufacturers, as well as Muro FOV, the EU commissioner responsible for the critical raw materials strategy, and the president of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Together, they welcomed the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the EU and Serbia to create a partnership for critical raw materials and establish a value-added chain for battery and electric vehicle production. Scholz visited Serbia only after President Vučić reversed a 2022 decision to terminate Rio Tinto's contract for lithium mining in a deposit near the border with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Rio Tinto's license was renewed precisely 2 months after Vučić rejected a request from Chinese President Xi Jinping for access to the deposit. In other words, Serbia's leadership made a significant, if not crucial, choice to cooperate with the EU rather than China. They clearly expressed their interest in gaining access to this lithium deposit. However, we informed them that we are discussing this topic with the Europeans. We are loyal to Europe, Vučić said in an interview with the German newspaper Handelsblatt. It is entirely possible that the 2024 lithium deal will be a pivotal moment in Serbia's future as a potential EU member. How else can one explain the enthusiasm with which Serbian leaders are promoting the upcoming lithium extraction? In a recent interview, Aleksandar Vučić assured that lithium mining, which could begin in 2028, would be a turning point for Serbia. According to him, the country expects to extract 58,000 tons of lithium annually, enough to produce 1.1 million electric vehicles, 17% of the European market. Former Prime Minister and current Speaker of Parliament Ana Brnabić, who a year ago declared that the lithium story is over, now asserts that lithium will be for Serbia what oil is for Norway. Finance Minister Sinea Mali claims that lithium will bring Serbia $10-12 billion annually, or 16% of its GDP. But the financial aspect is not the only important part of the plan. Vučić clearly aims to use lithium mining in Serbia to demonstrate loyalty to the EU and to break out of political isolation over the Kosovo issue. For this reason, the Serbian leadership has made a decision that is unpopular with the public and is sure to be used against Vučić by his political opponents. In the same Handelsblatt interview, Vučić stated, "Believe me, EU membership is much more important for our citizens. Access to the common market, freedom of movement, and simplified border control mean more to us than money." When asked how important EU integration is to him personally, Vučić replied, "It's important for us. Our goal is to become part of the European Union. In response to journalists' objections that one cannot discuss EU membership while simultaneously getting closer to Russia and China, and that one cannot sit on two chairs, Vučić replied, "I only sit on one chair, the Serbian one." However, the position of this chair could become extremely precarious. The number of people opposing the EU deal for environmental and ethical reasons is significant, and many are eager to use this as a pretext to remove Vučić. So it is not out of the question that the Amur, having done his duty, may step down. The crucial deal for the EU has already been secured. In this sense, Vučić's complaints that the unrest in the country was instigated by Western intelligence services sound, paradoxically, quite logical. How will the lithium deal affect Russian-Serbian relations? If it ultimately leads Serbia into the EU, Russia will face yet another member of an openly hostile bloc, although Hungary's example shows that an EU member country can, in principle, pursue an independent policy. If Vučić continues to balance, Russia should persistently advance its interests in Serbian society and politics. After all, the traditional sympathy of Serbs for Moscow has not disappeared. A business deal, even one of monumental importance, should not override what has been built over many years of relations.